In this video, we want to show you how you can use the TI-84 to conduct a chi-square test. In this test, we want to determine if there is a relationship between eye color and hair color. Below we have a table where many individuals have been broken down by their hair color and eye color. So our hypotheses should be stated: hair color is independent of eye color, or there is no relationship. Hair color, the alternative hypothesis would be that hair color is not independent of eye color, or that there is indeed a relationship between hair color and eye color. So to conduct the chi-square test on the calculator, first we must enter in the data into a matrix. So to enter in the values as a matrix, on the calculator press second and then the x to the -1 for matrix. Here you have a list of the names of the matrices. You can see that I have 4 matrices that have been defined. We want to edit a matrix or enter in our own values into a matrix. I've already entered things into matrix A. So to show you what you would do, you would arrow over to edit, and then when you've arrowed over to edit, you're going to select which matrix you want to edit. So in this case, I want to edit option A, matrix A. So I'm going to just move the cursor to A and then press enter. You need to give it the number of rows and the number of columns to start with. So in this case, you just type in 4 and press enter, and it would move over to the second value, which is the number of columns. And there you just press 4 and enter. And then you would just enter in the values. So you enter in the first cell, 68, and when you press enter, it'll move over to the right, and you'd enter in the value in the second cell, still in the first row, 119, and enter, and so on, until you completely entered in all the values in your table. So that's the first step. Now we have our data in the form it needs to be in order to execute the test. So now I'm going to press second and mode for quit. That bring me back to this screen here. And now I want to conduct the test. So we'll press stat, and then we'll arrow over to test. So arrow over to test. And then down near the bottom, you're going to find an option, chi-square test. So we're going to choose the one that's chi-square test. Some calculators have a chi-square goodness of fit test. This is not the test that we're running here. We have a two-way table. We're using the matrix. So to conduct our chi-square test, just move it to that option and press enter. And the first thing it wants to know is which matrix contains the observed values. And so if we'll remember, we use matrix A. So we're going to change this to matrix A. So to go to the matrices, we'll press second and x to the -1 again for matrix. Notice that names is highlighted. These are just the names, and I can call upon them. So I'll just move the arrow to the one that we want to use as the observed values. These are the ones that we edited just a moment ago. So we want to take the 4x4 matrix, matrix A, so just press enter at that point. It's now entered that as the observed matrix. Now the expected matrix, this would be the matrix that includes the expected values or the expected counts. The calculator is going to calculate these and put them in a matrix of your choosing. So here we can change this to whatever we want, just don't make it A. So I'm going to press second and x to the -1 for matrix, and I'll choose B and press enter, and it will change it to B. So after it conducts the test, it will output the expected counts to matrix B. So now we just simply move down to calculate, press enter, and it runs the chi-square test. It gives us a chi-square statistic of 138.29. So I recorded that here. It gives us a p-value. Notice it's 2.325, and then we have e to the -25th. So our p-value is 0.000 several zeros, right? Our degrees of freedom is 9. Recall that degrees of freedom is the number of rows, which is 4 minus 1. Then take the number of rows, which is 4, do 4 minus 1. The number of columns, which is 4. 4 minus 1 is 3. So 3 times 3 is 9. That would be the degrees of freedom for the chi-square test. So with a very, very small p-value, we conclude that we have very strong evidence for the alternative. We will reject the null. So this is very strong evidence that the hair color is not independent of eye color, or there is indeed a relationship between hair color and eye color. I hope this helped you understand how to use a calculator to run your chi-square test.